HBO presents Colin Quinn. Starring on One Night Stand. And now, Colin Quinn.
What a way to start the show. What a way to start my big night that I waited my whole life. Don't applaud now, it's too late, ladies. My big night, and I waited my whole pathetic, little, dysfunctional life for one happy night where everybody would sit and listen to me, and you two had to titter off to the bathroom to find out who would spend the night with Mr. My shirt's open, and all right, I just missed Mr. Bench Press. The bench press guy. What do you think you are for? Folks, let me explain something. I like to start out with a little statement, because, you know, this is it. So where shall I begin, really? I'd like to begin at the beginning, okay? And the beginning is, of course, childhood. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, as you all know. I was christened Colin Quinn. A christening, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's a beautiful Catholic ceremony. They take a precious newborn life, put it in the middle of a room, and 80 people smoke and drink in its face for 4 hours. It's very spiritual, folks. It's good for the kids, you know what I mean? At the end of 2 hours, the baby's cursing, you got hair on your chest, tattoos, betting on the Big East tournament. Typical family get-together, you know. Everyone over 40 is drunk. Everyone under 30 is stoned. Everyone 30 to 40 is drunk and stoned. You know, bridge the gap rather nicely. I don't applaud, that's okay. You know? And you always hear about the innocence of children. But folks, do you remember being innocent? I remember 5 years old upstairs in the party room with my cousins. That's innocence. You know, this one's smearing excrement on the walls. That one's drinking the other one's urine. This one's playing with that one's genitals. It's like Caligula with these fucking kids, you know. Having more fun than we do. It was like a Roman orgy when you really look at it. If you look at it the way I'm looking at it. And you always have... you know, you like that little stage business? Yeah, very deep. Choreography by Quinn. You always have that one drunken uncle that tells you shit you should never hear as long as you live, you know what I mean? You're 12 years old, he's got you pinned against a refrigerator. You know, your father fucked your aunt. You knew that, though, didn't you? He knew that. Get off me, he knew that. You always have that one cousin you have a little sexual attraction to, you know what I mean, folks? Come on, I'm not saying you touched your cousin, I'm just saying. No, the men in the room can't deny this. If your female cousin leans over to get something, you look right down your own cousin's shirt, all right? And then it occurs to you how low you've sunk for a cheap thrill at a sacred family get-together, all right? You're half-loaded, you're like, what am I doing? That's not girl breast I'm looking at, that's cousin breast, folks, all right? That's blood breast we're talking about. My blood flows through those breasts, what I'm saying here. No wonder you have an erection, you know? It's kind of a circulatory thing, really, when you think about it. It's like a science class, folks. I hope you appreciate the knowledge that I'm imparting. And the sad truth is, no man ever gets spiritual enough where he won't look down your shirt given the opportunities, ladies, okay? No man grows out. Even the Pope, when he's giving high holy mass, they're leaning over to kiss his ring. He's like, Sanctimus, Dominus, holy shit, Monsignor, 10 o'clock. Get over here right now. I don't want to miss this. How can I phrase this, okay? The dysfunction, where does it all start? What does it all mean? Now, a lot of people say they don't care about the dysfunctional family. It's not important. But folks, it is also very important. I don't think you understand. First of all the world problems start with a dysfunctional family. That's the fact, okay? Violence, how does violence start? It starts with the family. It starts at home. Your father gets yelled at work, so he's mad at his boss. So he comes home and yells at your mother because he's mad at his boss. Now she's mad at him, so she smacks you. You're mad at her, so you kick the family dog, all right? The dog is mad at you, so he goes out and bites the mailman. The mailman is mad at the dog, so he goes back to the post office and slaughters 14 of his coworkers. You know what I mean, folks? with our whole family. That's not a post office thing. It's happening. Now you might say, how come it all started now? How come everybody's talking about this whole dysfunctional stuff now? Folks, it's no accident that we grew up watching these 70s happy, sitcoms, and now everyone's dysfunctional because those shows warped your perspective, you know? You'd sit there, I mean, it's a big joke now, the Brady Bunch, but when you were a little kid and you watched those shows, you took that shit seriously, you know? And you'd be watching The Den and happy, you know? And then you'd look at your own family with the divorce, the child abuse, or the alcoholism, and you felt like shit, you know? That's why kids today are going to be a lot more emotionally healthy when they grow up, because they're watching more reality-based family shows like Cops and America's Most Wanted, you know? We love violence, folks. Oh, we pretend we hate it, but you would not go see a Stallone movie, you know what I mean? If in the middle of it he just grabbed some guy and said, I was going to shoot you, but I realize you have low self-esteem, so I'm going to let you go, you know? You would not watch The Three Stooges if Larry just grabbed Moe and goes, hey, come on, we're brothers, all right? You have some control issues because our father abandoned us. Why don't you wake up and just be honest with yourself, you know? You need to see the violence because it looks so good on TV. When I was little, I'd watch Cagney, bang! So some guy would hit him and he'd have some clever little remark, you know what I mean, and come right back. I didn't know it was going to be like, you're fucking right, I'm going to press charges. Holy shit! You know, that's how this movie should look because, folks, and kids now have it even worse because their role models are these guys. First of all, Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know what I mean? And Van Damme, see, this is what I'm talking about. Women love Van Damme. At least Seagal is kind of an ugly fuck, and I'm saying that. But Van Damme is not only can kick your ass, but he also is a beautiful looking guy, and that's a combination I've always fucking hated. I can't understand. It eats right through me when they applaud. I can't even understand what kind of a guy would take his girlfriend to see a Van Damme movie. You know, it's a lovely Saturday afternoon, honey. Things are going so well in our relationship. Let's go to the movies today and watch a movie about a guy that can run faster, jump higher, fight longer, fuck harder, and has more money than I ever will as long as we live, honey. Honey, no. Folks, don't applaud. It goes off my... You'll never have an orgasm with me again unless he put on a fake Belgian accent, is what you said. Then, you go to the movies, you're watching the Van Damme movie, okay? That damn Van Damme movie, folks. You're sitting there, here's Van Damme, now your girlfriend puts her hand on your arm, now you gotta flex for the entire 2.5 hours of the movie, all right? Even though she knows you have no muscle, you know you have no muscle, it's still less offensive when it's fucking flexed, all right? You're trying to recall those 3 weeks of curls you did back in '89, The movie starts, here comes Van Damme and his girlfriend walking down the happy street, folks, you know, and 6 badass bikers whistle at her. Well, folks, Van Damme is not going to stand for that now, is he? He's over here in a flash. This one goes through the plate glass window, all right? The other one's writhing in pain on the floor. Van Damme hasn't even touched him yet. It's just some ancient technique he learned in the Orient many years ago. The third one goes into the fruit stand because they always have, even if it's the middle of the fucking desert, they always have to have the fruit stand. Because it's so funny when the bad guy and the fucking tomatoes go rolling down the hill 10,000 movies in a row. And it puts a lot of pressure on young guys. Hey, fellas, if you're a youthful man, you don't have to do shit. If you're with your girlfriend, 6 biker guys say shit, all you do is one of 2 techniques. One is, honey, did they just say something to you? Meanwhile, they yelled in your ear, but you're pretending like you can't hear, you know? Or the other technique, which is like you're gonna kick somebody's ass, right? And then ladies, you just walk over, what the fuck did... And it's up to the women to hold us back, okay? I wanna make that clear, because sometimes if you don't know them that well, they don't think you're acting, and then you end up surrounded by 6 guys like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. If I get out of this, she's gonna die. I know that. That much I know, right? I'd like to talk a little bit about health. I recently had my last bout with chronic prostatitis. I don't find it very amusing, folks. I had to go to my doctor. And first of all, they have to give you a prostate massage every 10 days. Which is where they actually, it's the latest medical breakthrough, where the guy takes his finger and shoves it, you know what I mean? Up your, very latest medical. But the point is that when that's your only reality, you get very used to that, you know what I mean? So if I'm not there every 10 days, if I'm on the road or something, I feel that sense of emptiness and longing, you know what I mean? Then you have Valentine's Day comes along. You know what I mean? No card from Dr. Kashababi, whatever his name is. I forget his name. I shouldn't say that. It's cruel, you know. No, but the sad thing is, but the beautiful part is, he told me I have to ejaculate, if you'll excuse the French, twice a day. So that means, he said by hook or by crook, he said whatever you gotta do. That means if you people see me buying a copy of Penthouse magazine, don't fucking judge me, all right? That's under medical orders that I'm doing that. Medically supervised, folks. Well, maybe I will light this cigarette. So do you have a match for me? Thank you. How about you, my little coquettes? You girls are like young, Miami, 18-year-old, just waiting like you're 2 weeks away from being corrupted by some fucking German photographer, you know what I mean? On the beach. It's so, you have your little cigarettes, one pack for four of you, and just 2 weeks away from some, like, you know, guy in with little G-string, male bikini, with a fat, hairy belly going, you are so beautiful, you're fucking purity. These other chicks are washed up. I must photograph you. You're fucking intoxicating. All right. Now, what's your name?
Melissa.
Little Melissa. Are you from around here?
Yes.
Just from where?
Candle.
Candle? A little candle, a little wick in the wind. That's all she is. My little wick, little Melissa. See, I just broke up with my girlfriend, and I'm not saying that to hit on you, because you obviously, what are you at, 16? 17? Older than that?
Yeah.
You just saying that because you have a drink and you're on TV? And I don't judge you. I don't judge you, my little pobrecito. All right, little queridita. Sorry, I just wanted to nestle in her hair. See, that's the beauty of being a comedian. That was part of the show, that I nestle in this obviously underage girl's hair. But it was not just because I'm a degenerate bastard. It's because I think I was making an important statement just now about love, about May, December, and all this other type of important stuff. Oh my God, I love that little, you know what I mean? That little Fraulein, what do you call it? You know, Heidi and the fucking Mounts. I like up there with you with a bottle of Wiener fucking Schnitzel or whatever it's called, I don't know. As I move around the crowd. Sir, don't fucking start with me. I know, look at this. Can I please get a camera shot of this aging, linen-skinned, former biker, motherfucker, ex-convict? Oh, Jesus. Look at you. A nice little... Is that what he is? You're like this nice little New York girl that moved down here, figuring you'd meet some, you know what I mean, some classy Carlos from, you know, Flying Nun type fucking yachtsman, all right? And you run into this guy at a fucking Molly Hatchet concert, all right? You forgot Molly Hatchet, folks, but I didn't. No, I'm just kidding, sir. Body of Christ. That was just a little working the crowd type thing I was working on. How are you? I always have to keep in touch with him, because that's, you know, that's the key to good Aikido. Now, anyway... Malicita! How can I phrase this, folks? Oh, I was talking about the relationships. Now, you know, you take a girl, first of all, a girl broke up with me. And at first I was like, well, you know, this is what happens. People break up. But when you look in terms of 1992, that's the most profound statement anyone can make. All right? That's like saying, hey, I would rather go out there and risk possible death having sexual contact with somebody else than to ever fuck you again. You know what I mean, folks? That's what they're saying. So if somebody breaks up with you, don't take it so fucking lightly. It's definitely a little more serious than at first we thunk. I've always had, you know, I've had a lot of dysfunctional relationships. I broke up with this girl recently and called me immature, you know. 15 years old, calling me immature. You know what I mean, folks? No respect for the elders. That's the number one problem out there. You know, and don't cheat, by the way. Now, you're young, you're in. I know you're saying, Carl, how can we tell? Now, of course, the guys are with their dates tonight. No one's going to cheat. You're all sitting there like, honey, I'm not like that. I'm a sensitive, easy listening, Dan Fogelberg fucking guy. Whatever. Well, fellas, give yourself the little test. If you get past this, then God bless you. You're a better man than most of us. When you finally meet that beautiful girl that we all meet once in life, that loves you unconditionally, all right? Tells you're an animal in bed, makes you feel like a whole man for the first time in your miserable existence. So you think to yourself, A, hey, how lucky I am to have met this beautiful girl who gives me all this confidence, you know? Or B, hey, if I can get her, I can get all those other girls I never thought I could get, you know. I'm as good as she says. I gotta share the wealth. The world has gotten a little bit, just a little. I would never censor anything. God forbid that fucking hated word, censorship. But let me tell you something, folks, okay? We've gone off the deep end. Now look, even look at the justice system, okay? They got Jeffrey Dahmer, and they're saying, is he sane, is he insane? It doesn't matter. You know, you take a mass murderer, you're not going to rehabilitate him no matter what he is. You teach him how to crochet, he'll knit you to death eventually. You know, you teach him geometry, he'll cut you into a fucking isosceles triangle. All right? You got parole. What does parole mean? We sit there like that's normal. That means if you go to jail for a crime which everyone kind of acknowledges you committed, while you're in jail for that crime, if you get along well with the murderers and rapists that are in there, then you're healthy enough to come out and hang out with us, because if they like you, there must be something to you. Folks, these are their references when they go to the parole board, all right? They're sitting there and the parole board's like, well, Manson says he's good people, you know. Hey, this guy was Ted Bundy's bridge partner. Maybe we gotta give him a second shot. You know, not that we're innocent, folks. We're all murderers. Let's face it. We've all committed the crime of murder. Maybe not other human beings, but we've all been genocide ants. The genocide of the fucking bugs alone. And you don't kill them because you're hungry and you want to eat them for sustenance. You just like the feel of the crunch underneath your foot. You just take out a few bugs. And you know you're doing something wrong. Anytime I see like 20 ants gathered, I figure they're getting paranoid, like, hey, fuck this, we should say something, you know? And I'm always like, if you see like 20 of them, you're like, all right, break it up, you mother. You know, you take it on yourself to be the world police. Like, we're something special. And now you might say, hey, well, animals, which we also kill, at least we eat those. But even there, folks, what are the ones we eat? We eat the easiest ones to kill, you know what I mean? We love turkey, what a delicacy. We love cows, you know what I mean? So delicious. We love chickens, pigs. I'm sure bear meat is delicious, but nobody's gonna fuck with a bear, you know what I mean? He's just sitting there like, come on, yeah, come on. In fact, we had to learn the hard way a couple of thousands of years ago. We didn't know better. Two cavemen were walking along, you know. One of them's like, you know what I'd like today, Steve? A tiger burger might be nice, you know. The tiger was walking by, he overheard him. He's like, well, I'll give you a tiger burger. Come here, come here. Come here, you drawing on the walls like a 6-year-old child. Wouldn't know a fire if I lit one under your ass. Wife-beating bastard. I got a tiger burger for you. I think I'll have a turkey club, Steve, now that I think about it, you know. Hey, let's take a moment to reflect on the whole thing so far, on what we have wrought tonight. Here's what I want to do. You know, it's funny you brought this up, folks. I'm glad you did. You know what I mean? They'll cut into that and it'll be like we had this great conversation back and forth. I do. I feel it. Well, folks, let's face it. Comedy is a collective art. You know what I mean? If there's no laughter, I don't bomb. We bomb. And folks, some of this shit, you better rewrite tomorrow, because I really don't find it that funny. I'm being ironic. I'm sorry. Was I out of turn? All right, here's the story. Because then they look at me and say, Carl, give us the guts. Give us the guts of it all, folks. Okay, you want the guts, you got the guts. I was in the park yesterday afternoon watching, and I ran into the one kid that I hope never to see again as long as I live. I was at this outdoor beach party, Miami Park party. I ran into the kid that I never wanted to see again. The guy that when me and him were 10 years old, we used to play with each other's penis a little bit. You know what I mean, boys? You lying bastards, don't leave me here, you little homo fucks, all right? I know I'm not the only one that... No, I love saying that because guys' girlfriends look at them. Honey, did you do that? No, this guy. I don't know what he's talking about. It's funny that he did it. That's why I'm laughing. It wouldn't be funny if it happened to somebody like me. Oh, man. Well, I'd like to leave on a little important story that I think we're all going to get a big kick out of. Because, why do I think we're going to get a kick out of it, folks? Because I know comedy. And you might be saying, well, Carl, we've been relatively quiet out here tonight. Folks, I don't take that personally. I don't take that the wrong way. I know you're sitting out here listening, saying, boy, that Colin Quinn, he's really something. And maybe I'm not a kid. Maybe I'm what I always wanted to be, folks, a philosopher. You ever think about that? Because I've been thinking a lot. First of all, being a philosopher is great. It's very easy. I just say I'm a philosopher, therefore I am. You know what I mean? Here I am, fucking philosopher. Second of all, folks, we need a great philosopher in this country because there are none. You know, first of all, none of those guys would last 2 seconds because the world is too cruel now. You know, you'd have some like Descartes sitting in a bar somewhere. He'd be like, I think, therefore I am. The guy next to him would be like, I think you're a fucking alcoholic, all right? That's what I think. I think you should shut up and buy around, you know? Because this country has no great philosopher. We have no quotes for the ages like I think, therefore I am, God is dead, any of that stuff. What's the greatest quote that's come out of this country in the past 100 years? He who smelt it dealt it. Really. You know, which is very true and profound in its simplicity. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to nullify it. Because I've been thinking about, you know why it could be a philosopher? Because I've been thinking about death. And that's the most important thing. And I've been thinking I might be a little disappointed with heaven, folks, because I keep hearing that heaven, all is forgiven, all are forgiven. Folks, that's not what I was looking for in heaven, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? I was looking for me to be forgiven and the other good people in the world and all the pricks to be like in a glass bottom, you know, where you could just look at them and go, yeah, I told you were an asshole, okay? I'd like to leave on a story that I think is very important to all of us, very germane to the whole situation. It's about a little boy. Because I was watching a softball game recently, and it was a bunch of 12-year-old boys playing softball, you know, in the park. And not, you know, that I go to the park and watch 12-year-old boys. Very funny, folks, you know. But after the last thing I revealed to you, I don't know, you know, how much you're going to judge, you know. So I'm watching the game, and there's one kid out in right field, worst position in the game, right? Floppy hat, baggy shorts, mucus running down his nose. He's shaking like a leaf, waiting for the ball to get in, and the ball finally gets hit out to him, which he doesn't want. He drops it, and this short, fat, mean-ass little second baseman yells out, "You suck!" Huh? Fellas, can you identify? A tear came to my eye, because I could identify with that small child, folks. Not with the right fielder, with the second baseman, because I was a nasty little bastard when I was little, now that I think about it. I like to leave with sports because sports are very important to me. I love, my favorite athlete is, of course, Jordan, from the New Kids. You know, I really like him. No, I do. I think he's really fucking adorable. And, you know, I was thinking about the whole Tyson thing, because I used to box professionally under the name Anne-Marie. I don't know if you followed my career. It was a long and illustrious one. And I was thinking, first of all, Tyson going to jail. I mean, that's another example of the waste of... What they should do is have Tyson just go to jail every day and fight one rapist a day. You know what I mean? They're like getting rid of several thousand. Oh, thank you. I'm going to leave. Thank you, ladies. I'm going to leave. But I'm going to leave. You know, I'm going to leave. This is how we'll make this special really special. Instead of the applause, the ha-ha, thank you, and then come out and get the other bow, I'm going to leave. You ever see The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock? Do you remember the last scene when the birds were all hanging out at the house and they got to get to the fucking car? And they have to tiptoe, and the birds are sitting there like, yeah, move, mother. And they get in the car, and they just leave. And that was the end of the movie. This will be the end of our little movie. Thank you, folks. Take care. Good night. Body and face. Thank you.